Howdy, howdy, Chris here. We're back in the garage, and today we're going to be repairing and painting a used tailgate for a new GMC pickup. Let's take a look at it. So what's happened here is Darius has already went over this. We're basically just changing the color on this tailgate. We had some scratches on it, and Darius went over it with 320 grit sandpaper. He feather edged out the scratches. We applied some 2K urethane primer, and then he sanded this entire tailgate, because we're just painting the outside, with 600 grit sandpaper. He's got some guide coat on here, and he's going to block this out. And what guide coat's going to do is it's going to show us any high or low areas. So we want to block sand it out, make sure it's nice and smooth and level, so nothing's going to show up in a repair. And then we're going to be repainting this today. So let's get after it. So Darius is blocking this out with a medium-sized block, a block that's large enough to cover the repair areas, and he's using 320 grit sandpaper. I like to start off with 320 grit sandpaper to remove any texture, kind of block it quickly. And when you're blocking these primered areas to get this ready for paint, you want to block in a cross hatch or kind of like an X pattern. So you want to block in different directions. And this is going to give you the best chance to get this level. Now when you're blocking, you're going to be looking for any low areas. So any guide coat that's remains is going to be sitting in a low area. Now you'll try and block those out. So you try and continue blocking until those areas are removed. But if you break through into bare metal or you break through the primer in any way, you need to evaluate that. You may have to add filler or another coat of primer. This spot looks decent leveled out. We're going to move on to this spot. So there's no low areas there. We're trying not to break through the primer so we can just paint over the primer and not have to seal this. In sealer, when you're painting an open garage, it tends to catch a lot more dust and dirt. In my opinion, when you use sealer's good in some situations, definitely if you're painting a bumper cover, but I try and avoid it, being that I'm spraying an open garage without a paint booth. Just puts another substrate on there that's gonna leave texture that could show up in your clear coat. And with this color being black, I want to eliminate as many substrates as I can. If you have your primer prepped properly, you can paint right over your primer. As long as it's nice and smooth with 600, you can paint right over it. Eliminate that extra substrate, eliminate extra texture in your finished product. Okay, that one looks good as well. So these are deep scratches that we had to feather edge out. So we don't want any mapping, which is where you can see the edge of the repair where you feather edged it out. We don't want any of that. We don't want any low areas where you can see a bullseye where you sanded out that scratch and the panel's not level. So in order to eliminate that, we feather edged it out, and then we apply 2 coats of 2K urethane primer. So we found this one's just a little bit low. See how it leaves the guide coat in there? So Darius is going to try and block this out and see what happens. We may have to add another little bit of primer. Just block in crosshatch pattern or an X pattern. See, the thing is it going to level out before we break through the primer? That's the question, right? If it's a little low, that's going to be okay with us for this project, because this is a budget paint job here. That's good. Darius is going to finish up blocking out this primer, and then he's going to switch to an orbital sander with 600 grit sandpaper. And what that's going to do, it's going to refine those 320 grit scratches. So when we apply paint, we're not going to have any of those scratches show up in our repair through our clear coat. Once he sands it with the orbital sander, he'll go around by hand with a soft 600 grit sanding sponge and get all those tight areas that are hard to reach. Everything looks pretty good. There are some few minor imperfections, but it's going to turn out real nice. He did wash this with isopropyl alcohol to clean it, remove any dust. We are now going to mask up everything we need to mask up. We're going to run a piece of, we're going to back mask this because we don't want to get any paint on here. So we'll back mask this and get ready to spray it. We're going to mix up the black for this tailgate. It's just Chevy black. So we got our Segola cup with our liner. The black we use, it mixes up Nason full base, mixes up 2 to 1. So we'll find the 2 to 1 mixing ratio right here. We'll put the amount of paint in the 2 column and then the amount of reducer in the 1 column. So if we go, see how much we got here. 2 parts of paint. We'll go to the 2 in the 1 column. And that'll give us a 2 to 1 mixing ratio. Oop. Well, that was close. Mix this up. This is our lid, and it's got a filter on it. Put our collar on it. The gun we're using today is the Inokraft Drizzle Pro. This is a low volume, low pressure paint gun. You all remember the Inokraft Drizzle D1. Well, this is the updated version of that gun. It's lighter, it consumes a little bit less air, and the fan is just a little bit wider. A really good gun. I really prefer it for clear coat. It comes with a base coat tip, which I haven't used yet, to be honest with you. I don't like the way it sprays base as well as the Drizzle D1, but in fairness, I haven't used the tip that came with it for base coat. So, but we're gonna do base coat and clear coat with it today. Darius is tack ragging this off. He's just removing any dust particles. So that's a sticky cloth that's gonna wipe it down just before we spray, and it removes any dust on the panel. We're gonna go ahead and hit all the primered areas, anywhere where there's any breakthroughs, and then we'll let it sit for 15 minutes and then put on a second coat. So the way we set this gun up is we're gonna set it up at 19 PSI in the air pressure, 2 turns out on the fluid volume, the fan is wide open.
If you're new to painting, there's a few things to remember when you're just starting out. When you're putting your first coat on, put it on light. Put a light coat on first. Let that flash off for about 10 minutes, and then you can put your second coat on medium to wet. You want to overlap your passes about 80%. When you make a pass, overlap that previous pass about 80%. Have a consistent speed and a consistent distance.
All right, we'll let that set up for a few minutes, and then we'll come back with the second coat. Okay, we're doing our second coat of base now. All right, see a few particles of dust. We'll let this flash off. We'll probably denib it and then put on our third coat. So we got a couple little particles of dust right here. I'm just going to sand this out. I want this to be as clean as possible. This is just 600 grit sandpaper. Blowing it off. Overlap on my passes, about 80%.
Okay, we got good coverage on our black, so let's mix up some clear coat. The clear coat that we're using today is the Finish One FC710. It's a spot panel clear coat, mixes up 4-to-1. So we pour in our clear coat and then we pour in the activator, and that gives us our 4-to-1 mixing ratio. And we will be using the Inokraft Drizzle Pro for our clear coat. I really wasn't sold on this gun the first time I used it, but I've really come to love it. It sprays clear fantastic, and you'll see at the end of this video.
Put it at like 22, right there.
And just so you get a good feel for what it's like if you're a beginner spraying with this gun, Darius is going to spray this tailgate with this Inokraft Drizzle Pro. Darius does have some experience spraying clear coat, but he's still relatively new, so let's see how he does. We set this gun up at 22 psi on the air pressure. The fan is wide open, and as far as the fluid volume, 3 turns out from closed on the fluid volume. So we closed that fluid knob all the way, opened it up 3 full turns. Of course, you want to overlap your passes 80%, like Darius is doing here. He has a consistent speed and a consistent distance from the panel at all times. Having a consistent distance is going to help give you a uniform texture in your clear coat.
There you go.
Depending on your clear coat, you need to let it flash off in between coats of clear for about 10 to 15 minutes. Now, this particular clear coat doesn't need as long a flash time, so we wait about 5 to 7 minutes before we apply our second coat. Now, on our second coat, because this is a quick drying clear, and all clears spray differently, so you just have to kind of test it out and do some test panels, get a good feel for it. But this particular clear sets up quickly, so we need to put our second coat on a little bit heavier. So Darius is just going to move a little bit slower, get a little bit more material on that panel, enough material so it lets it flow out a little bit so we get a nice flat finish. And here's the finish after the second and final coat of clear. And what I want you to look at is look at the lights in this finish. You can see there's very little distortion. This is a very flat finish by a relatively inexperienced painter. Now, Darius did a fantastic job on this, but this particular gun, the Inokraft Drizzle Pro, really lays down and atomizes clear coat flawlessly. And in my opinion, this would be a fantastic gun for a beginner. Now, it's not as inexpensive as the Drizzle D1, the original gun, but there is significant improvements in the atomization, the fan, and the air consumption. So if you're looking for a paint gun under $200 that just does a fantastic job, I would consider this. This is a great option. I hope you enjoyed this video and found this information helpful. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment down below. If you're looking for digital guides to walk you through step-by-step this entire process, check out GarageNoiseGear.com. Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you watching. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you on the next episode of Garage Noise.